What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Moto Monday. And today we're going to be discussing, of course, that Chinese spy balloon. Let's just dive into it. Such a crazy story. I can't even believe that it even went on this long. But let's just watch this quick video on it, just so everyone can get a little bit caught up from the events that unfolded over the last couple days. So. Well, last week.
Fabric on the boat deck and boxes being unloaded on the dock. The balloon was discovered off North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Debris from the shoot-down lies scattered across 7 miles.
Some of it's intact. They'll be able to easily determine what it was and what it was used for.
We're learning more about the stunning moment the spy balloon was shot out of the sky.
Rank 1, blast 1, that is a big kill.
We have eyes on the balloon falling.
Hundreds on the ground watch the Top Gun drama unfold.
That plane just had a strike.
The moment of impact was captured by photographer John Snyder.
I walked out to the driveway in the front yard and I was like, oh, hey, there's the balloon.
Minutes after he set up his camera, the missile struck.
I knew I had got the shot. That's basically all it was, being in the right place at the right time.
This extraordinary image shows the payload of solar panels and spy equipment actually falling from the sky. It's the first time an aircraft has been shot down over U.S. territory since World War II. Now the recovered equipment may be an intelligence treasure trove for the U.S.
Our long national nightmare is over.
And just hours later, the historic moment was lampooned on Saturday Night Live.
We popped the balloon.
Okay, so let's kind of unpack this a little bit, right? So we have this balloon that has sailed over the entire United States that came from China. They said it was a weather balloon. Definitely not. I think we can all agree that that's fucking bullshit. It's had a payload on it. We've known that the whole time. Now there's another balloon potentially headed our way that's like coasting over Canada, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But we have now, maybe we gather some intelligence. I mean, they say that it's a treasure trove. I highly doubt it. I mean, maybe there's some guaranteed spy spy tech that's built into that we can reverse engineer. But I mean, China also said that they're like upset that we shot it down. It's like, first of all, why wasn't this shot down when we how to get past NORAD, and then why didn't we shoot it down? Right? The Biden administration let this thing go over the entire United States before we shot it down. Why? Why is it that every single, some of the largest breaches in our security, whether it be on the information tech side or physical security side or whatever, why does it always happen under, I don't want to say always, but again, some of the largest times that it's happened have been under Democratic rule, right? A Democratic White House, major things happen. We had the major data breach of over 20 million, or I think it was 30 million Americans lost their data to China back in 2013, I believe. And then 2 years later, we released the F-35 stealth fighter plane, and then China stole all of the, their hack team came in and stole all of the plans for it. And now China has F-35 lookalikes with their own twist on it. And now that was under the Obama administration. And now under the Biden administration, he allows for a Chinese spy blimp or a spy balloon to travel over the entire United States before shooting it down. What the hell is going on? If that was any other person with half a brain who can mutter 2 sentences together without completely making a fool of themselves, that thing would have been shot down before it ever entered U.S. territories. Like, how are we allowing for this constant barrage of Chinese intrusion, right? I don't understand it. I don't get why, and I don't get why General Milley is defending any of this. That guy needs to fucking get canned immediately, right? I don't know whoever comes next that guy needs to get gone, right? I mean, obviously, they all need to be removed. They all need to be voted out. But this is just another check in the box that we can all look at and be like, this is a failing administration in every single way, right? They handled this as well as they're handling the border crisis. They can't keep the ground safe. They can't keep the sky safe. What can they keep safe? They can't keep documents safe. They can't keep anything safe. They can't keep me safe. They can't keep you safe. They can't keep anything safe. It's pretty evident that they're completely incapable of doing anything that's worthwhile for the country. They can't keep us from being in a recession. They can't lower the costs of anything. They can't even utilize the things that we're good at to keep us out of recession. It almost feels like they're actively trying to bring the U.S. to its knees. Honestly, like, I don't understand why we keep allowing ourselves to be pushed around by some globalist narrative. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. This whole thing, this whole spy balloon thing is just, it's crazy. I mean, it was shot down by an F-15 that came out of, I think, Barnes National Guard Base. Or sorry, no, it was shot down by an F-22. So, yeah, it's just crazy to me that that we've allowed for China to take all this. We've allowed them all this room, all this wiggle room. You know what I mean? We would have never done that, right? We would have never ever done this, and there's no reason to continue to allow this to happen. Like, at what point do we hold people accountable? At what point do we say, okay, this is enough is enough. You clearly don't know what you're doing. You clearly don't have your citizens' best interest in mind. Like, what if that spy balloon, that payload underneath, was a nuclear device or some other new form of WMD that we don't even know? Like, they have some tech that we're not even privy to. What if it was, God forbid, a contagion of some kind? You know what I mean? Like, you can obviously let your mind run wild, but I mean, that's the facts. That's the truth. Like, we allowed for this thing to just to continue. And granted, you could say, oh, well, if we shot it down and that hit the ground, then that would have been that would have started it. But, like, again, how did this even make it into our airspace? How did we even allow this to happen? And if it did float down from Canada, why did they allow it to happen? Or is it just so small that, like, it gets past radar detection? And that's a whole another problem, right? If that's the issue we're identifying now, is like, what is actually safe? It's a bit crazy. It's this needs to be handled swiftly. There needs to be like some sort of, I don't want to say like a retaliation, but there needs to be some sort of sanction held on China, right? If we are who we are, right? If we're Americans and we have any bit of say in the world, and we want to take our own security for our own people seriously, then this physical threat needs to be addressed. Like, it is. It's a direct violation of U.S. sovereignty. The fact that they allowed it to happen, and it might even be allowed, like, they might even allow it to happen again. You know what I mean? For all we know, if there really is a second balloon, let's just look it up really quick. I don't want to. Yeah, there's a second balloon. I guess over Latin America. So they've got another spy balloon down south of us. So they're taking all the imaging that they need of everywhere that they can. Right? Like, this needs to be handled. We need to be the ones to handle it. And unfortunately, I don't think we will. I don't think that Biden has any intention of putting China in their place. He's way too much of a pussy to do anything even close to that. Like, just saying. Like, he does not have our best interests in mind at all. Yeah, I know that this is a less than happier sounding or happier Moto Monday. I usually try to keep things upbeat, but man, this is it's bad, man. Like there's no, and there's also the whole like Taiwan thing going on, right? Like there's so many things that China is like, pushing around right now, and I think honestly they're just testing the waters, right? Like of course they allowed a weather balloon or spy balloon to float over the U.S. They don't care. They don't care. Like they know that there's someone in power right now in the U.S. that's not going to do anything about it. But this is the way for them to just test those waters and keep testing and seeing like what all they can get away with over the next 2 years, or year and change, whatever, until there's a new president, right? If there's a new president, I should say. We'll see. We'll see what the American people have to say in a year and change from now. You know, I would hope that people can see the writing on the wall and see where things are headed, because this is just another piece to the pie that people really need to consider. You know, we have a border crisis from the ground to 80,000 feet. No portion of our sovereignty is safe. Not by laws, not by borders, not our airspace. None of it. And the scariest thing I think for us right now is the administration also doesn't care what anyone has to say about anything. They don't care what the Supreme Court has to say. They don't care what the population thinks. They don't care. They don't, you know it's really bad when they don't even care about optics. Like, this does not look good. Anyone with, again, half a brain could tell you this isn't going to look good if we allow this to happen. And they don't care. So my question is, what happens? What's next? They've got a year. They've got almost 2 full years to continue down this path. That's a long time. A lot can happen in 2 years. So we'll see. We shall see. With that said, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in for Moto Monday. I will see you guys tomorrow for Tactical Tuesday. I'm sorry that I was out. I was having a baby. She's okay. She's good. She's into the world. So things were good. I did have a bit of a run-in trying to leave the hospital, which really sucked. But things happen. With that said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being part of this channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay loose. Battle on. And if you bitch in your heart, it'll show.